Say, Mommy. Hi.
When I first considered bringing a stray cat into my home, I wasn't sure it would ever work. I'd never tried anything like it before, and I had no idea how the story would unfold. Last summer, after moving into a new apartment complex, I began noticing a shy little cat who spent most of his time wandering the parking lot. I eventually named him Kitty Baby. On hot Mississippi afternoons, I'd often find him taking shelter beneath parked cars, trying to escape the heat. Every time I saw him, I couldn't stop thinking about how vulnerable he was, living among traffic, facing harsh weather, and spending each day alone. The thought of leaving him outside became harder and harder, so I decided to earn his trust and hopefully convince him that life indoors could be different. Building that trust wasn't quick. It required patience, consistency, and plenty of quiet moments. Since I lived on the ground floor, he would occasionally sit outside my patio door watching me through the glass. I started leaving the door slightly open during the day so he could hear my voice. I spoke softly, placed food nearby, and simply let him know he was welcome whenever he felt ready. As autumn arrived and temperatures dropped, I left a blanket outside along with a toy. The day I watched him play with it for the first time, I realized we were making progress. When the first cold spell of late November arrived, I became even more concerned about him. I set up a heated pad outdoors and found myself waking throughout the night just to make sure it was still running. I couldn't stop worrying about whether he was warm enough.
Good morning, Kitty Baby. Good morning, my sweet boy. Hi.
Then, one evening, everything changed. Kitty Baby quietly walked through my open door and took his first steps inside. He met my other cat, Lizzie, and after gently closing the door behind him, I realized his life, and mine, had changed forever. The adjustment wasn't easy. He was frightened and unsure of his new surroundings, spending most of his time hidden beneath my bed. I never rushed him. I wanted him to discover, at his own pace, that he was finally somewhere safe. At night, he would quietly explore the apartment, but he never tried to run back outside. It seemed as though he understood he had finally found a place where he belonged. A visit to the veterinarian revealed that he was likely 7 or 8 years old. Despite spending his entire life outdoors, he was remarkably healthy. Aside from a missing canine tooth and an old scar on his back, he showed very few signs of hardship. The vet believed he had probably never lived inside a home before. Hearing that was heartbreaking. It was difficult to imagine so many years passing without the comfort, security, or affection every animal deserves. Although he'd already moved in, trust still came slowly. It took weeks before he allowed me to pet him again, but the day he finally leaned into my hand and began to purr remains one of the happiest moments I've ever experienced. Every bit of patience had been worth it. I had questioned my decision many times. Some people warned me that taking in an outdoor cat would make him unhappy. Their concerns stayed with me, but I chose to pay attention to Kitty Baby instead. His behavior, his expressions, and the quiet way he lingered near my door all seemed to say he was ready for a different life. Looking back, I know it was the right choice. Today, Kitty Baby is incredibly gentle and well-mannered. He's calm, affectionate, and respectful of his home. He gets along beautifully with Lizzie, and watching them play together is a daily reminder of how far he's come. Every so often, I'll hear him happily chasing toys around the room, behaving like a carefree kitten who no longer has to worry about surviving another day. Watching a once feral cat slowly learn to trust has been one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. It has taught me that healing doesn't happen overnight. Real trust is built little by little through patience, kindness, and consistency. If you're thinking about rescuing an animal who has had a difficult past, don't expect instant results. Give them the time they need, respect their boundaries, and allow the relationship to grow naturally. Because when an animal finally decides to trust you, the bond that follows is unlike anything else. Sometimes, the lives we set out to save end up changing our own in ways we never imagined.